Hi guys. Thank you all for coming out for the launch for Lady Midnight. Super excited to have you here, and of course, we do have some very special guests tonight. I don't know how many of you have been watching a little adaptation called Shadowhunters. But we have several of our main cast with us tonight, and they're going to be answering your questions and looking cute. So please welcome Harry Shum Jr., Emeraude Toubie, and Katherine McNamara. I can't see anything. Hello, everyone. You want some chair?
Isaiah wants to. Okay, sorry, we have to organize ourselves. Yeah, sorry.
Hello. So, as you arrange yourselves, shall I begin to find questions? Hi,
See this one.
I'm just gonna shout because I have no mind.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing today?
So Holly is going to come out in the audience and take questions. So if you have questions about the books or the show or for anybody up here, go ahead and raise your hand.
Away. This is your moment.
This is your chance.
Take it.
Okay, red hair. I saw you. You had your hand up first. I'm going to hand this mic over, okay? And you guys are going to pass it and then hopefully pass it back.
Trusting you. Sharing is caring.
Hi, I'm Kaden, and I'm such a big fan of your books. They introduced me to the reading world, so thank you.
Thank you.
I was wondering, what's your plotting process? Because your world is so amazing and intertwined together, and I was wondering how you created, did you plan the other books before you brought them into the past ones?
When I started with City of Bones, I knew I wanted to make a really big world that you could tell a lot of stories in. But I wasn't planning anything definite because I had no idea if anybody would like the first book. And if nobody liked the first book, then there wasn't really a point in planning 9 books. So I wrote the first book, and fortunately people did like it, and then of course I was really thrilled, and by the second book I already had the Emeraude Toubie plotted out, and I had the idea for the Dark Artifices right around a year or 2 later, and at some point I kind of explained it to my agent and said, look, I think of it as like a wall, and each story is like a brick in that wall, and eventually it will be the full Shadowhunter story, but each brick is like one trilogy or one series, and it tells a part of the full story.
Wow, thank you.
Okay.
No, Holly, no. Oh my gosh.
I see you. You had your hand up first.
Oh my gosh.
We love you back here. I just wanted, there's been rumors about season 2. So a lot of us here are really hoping it's gonna happen.
We are really hoping it's gonna happen too.
We're trying, we're signing petitions left and right. So.
We wish we had this for you. We love you guys so much.
So hope, is there any you guys have, no, it's just a big question mark?
You watch the show.
Yeah.
Keep watching.
I think keep watching and get everyone to keep watching. And
oh, Harry, I love you. You're my favorite.
I love you too.
All right. In the striped shirt, yes.
Sorry.
Hi. I guess this one. This is more towards the cast, and Cassandra, you're one of my biggest inspirations for becoming a writer and going through production. For the cast, how much did your own personality go into each character? And with it, what was the biggest struggle of personalities between the two, I guess?
Yeah. Just like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke is all me. I have a daughter, so I'm a father and a father figure. So I put most of that into Luke. Yeah, so it wasn't much of a stretch. And I'm a werewolf, so.
Yeah, we really have to watch you when the full moon happens. So.
All the time, yeah.
Jeez.
Well, you don't,
Hassle.
so I'm protecting you, so.
Well, that's true, that's true. But same goes with Clary. A lot of myself went into Clary. She's a character that's very similar to who I am as a person, which is great because I have a lot to draw from, but it can also be really terrifying when things hit close to home, especially the emotional stuff. But it only helps to add to the character, and I think that's what makes our cast add so much to the story, is that each of us really does put our heart and soul and every part of ourselves into our characters.
Yeah, I think there's a little part of all of us with our characters, but with Izzy, she is so strong, so I think I'm learning from her more than she's, I think we're not, it's a little different. I'm just more learning from her character and how strong she is and her strengths and all that stuff.
I have a little secret. That dude on that TV is not me. No, Magnus, he's so inspirational. It's crazy when you lift it off the books and you try and do justice to this character and you try and bring a lot of, I guess, realism into it, because it's such a magical character, but you want it to be grounded and real at the same time. So for me, it's just dealing with these issues. Like, you've had heartbreak, and you've dealt with all these issues in your life that you kind of just bring into making this character not just magical, but very relatable as well. So Cassandra did an incredible job creating this character, and I'm just so honored to be playing.
Thank you.
Oh my God, hey! Oh my God, and first of all, you are gold. Gorge. Okay, anyway, I have a question for you guys. This is for Kat. Okay, so I love Maze Runners, so I was curious, actually for Harry too, if Sonia and Clary were in a room together, what do you think they would act like? And if Mike and Magnus were in a room together, what do you think they would talk about?
If Sonia and Clary were in a room together, it would go down one of two ways. They'd either try to kill each other, or they would fix all the world's problems and just take over and be the badass. Either way, depends on the situation, depends on how they're introduced, but I think they would get along really well if the situation presented itself.
I think Magnus was in a glee club one time.
Alright, somebody in front. Yes, I'm gonna try and get this to you.
Hi, my name is Javier. Emeraude, I love you. You give so many good looks on the show. It's like your walk is so amazing in the show. Me and my brother fangirl over you all the time.
Thank you.
And so
I fangirl over her all the time.
right, like who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Emeraude fangirls over Emeraude all the time.
So my question is for all the cast. So if you could have one quality from any one of your cast members, what would it be and why?
I would want to have Izzy's strength and and be more accepting of what she has with her family and being that's what I would get from Izzy. Yeah.
Oh, pass one over me.
Oh, you want Kat?
This might not be popular, but I really dig the way that Valentine is so charismatic but so evil. How does he do that? It's just like, God, I don't want to like this guy, but yeah, I'll do that. I don't know.
I think I'd want Cassie's brain.
Our character.
And then Emeraude's fire. And then Magnus' magic.
For me, I think I'd want Clary's willingness to take risks. Really, all of the characters have this insane willingness to take crazy risks, and that's something I don't always necessarily have and would like to have more of.
Oh.
Hey.
I would like Magnus's ability to summon things like coffee.
Practicality, that's what we have here.
Like, I would like to be sitting there working on a book and be like, I would like a cup of coffee from Dean and DeLuca and have it just like that's what I
Why
want.
didn't we all think of this? That's why you're the author.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, wow, this is really exciting. I've been watching all the seasons, all the episodes. But Cassie, I wanted to ask you, what was your inspiration for using Los Angeles, my hometown?
Well, Los Angeles is also my hometown. I grew up and I was a teenager here, and so I think that a big part of it was wanting to kind of return home a little bit and write about what it was like being a teenager in LA. And so for like Julian and Emma and their friends, they go to the places I went, they go to Canner's Deli in the middle of the night because that's what's open. And they go to the same places at the beach. And I feel like Los Angeles gets a bad rap. Like over on the East Coast, they're always like, LA, it has no culture. And I'm like, no, it's a beautiful, it's actually like a fascinating city. It's incredibly diverse, and it's between the beach, which is beautiful and lush, and the desert, which is like starkly beautiful. And I felt like there was a real magic that could be captured there. And so I was really excited to write about it.
Here you go.
Hello, I'm Nadia. Hi.
Hello.
Emeraude, my mom, says hi. She loves you from Los Sabias Latina. And I have a question for Cassie. Have you finished writing the final TDA book? If so, what's the time span in the series from Lady Midnight to the last one? And also, legalize parabatai marriage.
March on Washington for legalization of parabatai marriage. I have not finished the last book of Dark Artifices. This is the first book, and as you can probably see, it's very, very long. I am basically done with the second book, and right now I'm working on the first book of The Last Hour. Because the series flip off between each other, it's going to be another book or two before I actually finish the Dark Artifices, and so I don't know the exact time span, but it's not going to be more than a year or so in the lives of the characters. So yeah, I don't know what to say without spoiling things.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah, hi. Yeah. My name's Fanny. I'm from Sweden, so I'm just really happy to be here, yeah.
How do you say Shadowhunters in Swedish?
I think they translated it to Skuggjägare.
Skuggjägare?
Yeah, Skuggjägare. Yeah, it's the literal
it's
translation.
the literal shadow.
Yeah, it's the literal translation. Yeah. But I just wanted to ask you, Claire, because all your characters are so deep and so complete characters. And I was wondering how you keep track of all their personalities and characteristics. Do you have timelines for every single character?
I do have timelines for all the characters, and I have we call it, my sister and I call it the Bible. So it's every character, all the things about them, their favorite stuff, the things that they don't like, the stuff they're afraid of, Alex, weird fear of umbrellas, stuff like that. That's all in there, and so and mostly it's not hard because to me they're real people, Perry and Jason, Luke and Magnus and Isabel are real people, and I know them, so you don't forget things about them the way that you wouldn't forget things about your friends. But if I need to check something, then I go into the Bible and I'm check, birthdays, major life events, that kind of thing. So I think I always feel like creating a character is sort of like what they say about icebergs. You only see 10%, but there's 90% that's under the surface, and so that 10% has to give you the feeling that there's all this stuff that's under there, and all the stuff that's under there is in the Bible, which hopefully no one will try to steal.
I wanted to know if Jason and Claire were going to get married in this book or not.
Yes!
In the book.
Well, if you've, mean, I know you haven't read the book because it literally just came out today, but at the end of the book is a short story called A Long Conversation. It's a quote, actually, I think from Colette. Marriage is a long conversation that ends too soon. And it is about two of our major couples getting engaged, and it does touch on the topic of whether Jace and Clary are going to get married. Remember, they're 22 in this book. So if you read the book and read the short story at the end, that will give you something of an answer to that question.
Okay, in the plaid.
Hi, Cassie, I'm from Argentina. I wanted to ask you, are you planning on going someday? Because we would love to have you there, and there's a lot of people who just love your books.
Aw, thank you so much. I would love to go to Argentina, but the way that it works is that your publisher in a country has to invite you to come. And so far my Argentinian publisher has not invited me. But you could try to convince them. My Italian publisher invited me because the Italian fans of the books went down to their building and wallpapered it with posters and covered all their windows until they broke down and invited me. So that's my suggestion, and we could also...
Yeah, I'd say get a +5 on that one.
You could invite all of us. That would be fun.
Anybody got a question all the way back here? You got a question? Anyone? All right.
What was your favorite part in writing the Mortal Instruments series? Like, if you had to choose.
Yes.
The last word.
I really shouldn't say that. It was a good ending, though. I mean, I enjoyed writing the ending because there's a sort of great sense of satisfaction in being like, I have wrapped this up. But I don't know. I don't think I can pick a specific favorite part. I have a ton of favorite parts. You know, I love, and I don't want to spoil things for people, but I think actually, I would say the way that the characters grow, the way that we meet them in the beginning of the books, and it's been interesting for me to watch the TV show because they're much more like, in the TV show, the way they were in the very beginning of the books. And I know them at the end. So I'm kind of like, oh, here we go back to the beginning, and you know, Clary doesn't know anything about the shadow world, and Alex is kind of a jerk. And, you know, Jace is kind of also a jerk. And,
The lovable ones.
I mean, and, you know, Magnus doesn't really, like, care about anybody yet. And I'm like, oh, it's interesting to see where they started and then where they end up. You know, so I think just the arc of the characters is my favorite part, like as how they grow and where they begin and where they end with much more, I think, confidence and generosity.
Hey, Cassie. Can you hear me back here?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. We got a question.
So first of all, Harry, I love you. Mike Chang, I love you. Magnus, I love you.
They love you
I
times
have a question for you, Cassie. In the last Herondale and the Shadowhunters Academy, I was wondering what Catalina did with that child.
Did you get that?
What happened to the last Herondale kid? What did Katarina do?
Yeah,
you will find
exactly.
out. If you read the Dark Artifices, you will find out the story of the lost Herondale and where he turns up.
Okay.
Or turns out.
Ah!